Welcome to Volcanoes TV, breaking down the 2014 Northwest League All-Stars for the Salem-Keizer Volcanoes. I'm voice of the Volcanoes, Rob Schreier, with Brandon Chin alongside 6 on this year's group, including 3 in the starting infield and also 3 out of the bullpen, 1 starter, a closer, and very good right-handed reliever. The Volcanoes have 3 in the starting infield, which has been one of their places where they hang their hat on this whole first half and into the second half. You've got Relford at second base, Christian Arroyo, the first-round pick for the Giants last year, at shortstop, and then over at third, Will Callaway. Really just starting with those 3 right there, you've got a first-rounder surrounded by a 44th rounder from 2011 in Relford, who went all the way up to AA as a fill-in in the middle infield last year. And then Callaway's really shined as a 37th rounder, and so it just goes to show that really the Northwest League in its style, and with these 3 infielders, they have shined throughout the year, and really Callaway always in the top 10 in the batting average. Arroyo's really come on in the month of July, and then Relford, my goodness, the flashes of leather from second base.
And that's the thing, is we've talked to some of these players, and once you get to the show, once you get here, the round that you're drafted does not matter. And you look at a guy, Christian Arroyo, first round pick, all-star, not a surprise. But then you look at the guys, Will Callaway, 37th round draft pick in 2013. Relford, you mentioned it, out of the top 40. So that was with the expanded draft. And yet those 2 guys have teamed up with Christian Arroyo. You mentioned some of the numbers. They've turned into a really dynamic group throughout the infield.
Let's start with Relford at second base. T is a guy that's actually played all 3 of these positions, second base, shortstop, and third. Been a guy that you can approach from Gary Davenport's standpoint and say, well, T, we need you to hit ninth and lay a bunt down and also turn about 3 double plays. Or T, today we need you to hit fifth. We also need you to drive in a couple runs with a double and be one of those leaders offensively. He's been a chameleon out there offensively and has played all 3 positions in the infield with a tremendous amount of poise.
He's hit second, he's hit third, 5th and 6th, maybe even 7th. So you talk about the versatility he has in the lineup. That versatility carries out to the field as well. Second, third, short. He's played them all, and he's played them all very well. A very good glove, good footwork, and just an all-around all-star. We've talked about consistency. Relford consistent at the plate and consistent on defense in the field.
Now coming into Sunday, July 26th ball game, T hitting .296 on the year, 7 doubles, 2 triples. He scored a team-high 27 runs. Also 6 steals on 6 attempts, but his month of July has just been fantastic and hitting above 350 and also doing the most damage in terms of the power in this month for T. Moving over now 1 spot to the left in the infield, Christian Arroyo, the 25th overall pick in the 2013 draft. Again, started this season slow, so his stats now that are a .315 average, he's got 7 extra base hits, 21 batted in. He's been awesome at the shortstop position defensively. He's played in this month all but 2 or 3 ball games, and he's now has shined, but consider that in even less time because of him coming back from that injury that he suffered in the spring.
Absolutely, had some hand injuries, and he said it messed with his timing a little bit. That and the pressure of just trying to do too much as a first-round pick from 2013. Just the weight of the world on his shoulders, only 18 years old at that time. So he really has matured in front of our eyes here this season in 2014. And now you look at the numbers that you just referenced, really pacing this team, comfortable in the 3-hole at shortstop, great defense. But you look at the hit streaks, you look at the 7 3-hit games he's had this season, and he's just really been an all-around guy for the Volcanoes.
And he is second on the team with 11 multi-hit ball games. You've also got to consider the fact that now with those games that he was out, he's got now in the top 10 in the Northwest League in terms of batting average, again at .315 coming in to July 26th ball game. Let's now go to the hot corner of the infield. Will Callaway, who frankly hasn't played all exclusively his games at third base recently, has been also one of those guys, very chameleon-like, playing in the left field area. But Callaway has been there pretty much wire to wire in the 300s, third now in doubles in the league with 11 of those. He had an inside the park home run in Eugene. He's also got 19 RBI on the season, and Will really, again, 37th round pick, Appalachian State, and he really has shown that may be a mistake for the other clubs not to take him earlier than the Giants did in 2013. But Will Callaway, probably the guy that you least expected to be in this position, but what a shining year for Will this year.
He truly has come out of nowhere, and early in the season, struggling to find his rhythm. We've mentioned it before, I'll say it again, 4 for 23 at the plate to start the season, and really only finding his way into the lineup because of Christian Arroyo's injuries. So he was a guy that Davenport's hand was forced a little bit to get into the lineup, and he really has rewarded that. And now you talk to Davenport, and he says, hey, he's forced his way into the lineup. I have no choice but to play him. And a guy with a great work ethic. We've tried to interview him after a couple of games. After the 4-for-4 game, we go into the locker room. He's in the weight room lifting weights after the ball game. So a great work ethic, a great guy. He's got a good head on his shoulders, and the numbers at the plate are extraordinary.
The great thing about this, too, all three of T, Christian, and Will are going to be starters down at Eugene Tuesday, August 5th at PK Park. Now to the bullpen. We'll start with the starting pitcher, Jose Reyes, in his second year with the Volcanoes and fifth in the Giant system. He will get the call to be one of the pitchers in the South Division. Jose, again, rocky start this year, but his month of July, fantastic. He's won 4 of his last 5 starts. He's had 2 games where he's gotten 7 innings, 1 hit. One of them was in Boise, where he had probably the start of the year in the Northwest League. And Jose Reyes, a guy that started slow, but my goodness, what a July.
You mentioned those numbers there in the end. 7 innings pitched against Hillsboro, 3 starts out, only 1 hit, took the win there, and then his last time out on the mound at Boise, very difficult environment, very difficult Boise Hawks offensive team, and he goes out and throws 8 innings, 1 hit, no runs, picks up another win. So he really has solidified himself as one of the aces in this Volcanoes pitching staff, and very well deserved getting an all-star appearance for him.
Reyes now in the year 4-3 with a 3.56 ERA, top performer in the league in terms of innings pitched, also whip, and the strikeout ratio very nice. He's got that control, 41 strikeouts, 11 walks. Now to the bullpen. EJ Insano, second-year Volcano. This guy you got to feel great about because his season last year was derailed because of an injury, so he came back to the Volcanoes, and he's been one of the more consistent relievers. He leads the team in appearances at 16, coming in again to stats as of July 26. He's undefeated 3-0, sub-3 ERA at 2.87, and there was really a stretch where the numbers aren't going to fully express this, but he went a stretch from mid-June till mid-July, zeros on the board. That's exactly what you want to have a setup guy. He's second league in appearances at 16 and holds as well. So not quite a shutdown guy, a long inning reliever, but not quite the closer. So a guy you're going to throw in there in the 8th inning and almost guarantee going to get a 0.
He's done very well. EJ Insano has been one of those staples. A starter, especially in this league, only goes 5, 6, maybe 7 innings. And so it's very important. We have a closer like Yuri Sanchez, who we'll talk about in just a second. It's very important to have those middle guys that can help kind of bridge the gap from the starter to the closer, and EJ Insano is definitely one of those guys for Salem-Keizer.
Well, let's go to Yuri Sanchez, who has been electric, and what a slider. We were actually talking with the owner of the Volcanoes, Jerry Walker, reminded him of Sergio Romo. Last time I checked, he's doing pretty well with the San Francisco Giants with the big club. Sanchez now 2-1 with a 2.53 ERA, team high 6 saves. That's now 3rd in the Northwest League. I think really more than anything, you go to the strikeout numbers kind of as a crutch, but with Yuri, it's now 30 strikeouts in his last 11-plus outings. He recently had a game where he had 4 strikeouts and 1 close against the Spokane Indians, start of the second half. And so Sanchez, just a young guy too, only 3rd year in the Giants system, making a splash and making his mark since the start of July. He's the shutdown closer.
And you can see the success he's had just in the Spokane series. 2 saves in this series. You mentioned it, 4 strikeouts in their 5-2 victory in Game 2 of this series. And Yuri Sanchez, a guy, comes in a 2.53 earned run average, so very reliable out of that bullpen. And you talked about the slider, absolutely filthy. We have home plate from our view behind the plate, starts on one side of the plate, ends at the other. So just natural movement, kind of comes from the right side and just slings it on through. And it's proved to be very effective. And it'll be interesting to see how he lines up against the North Division All-Stars at PK Park in Eugene.
So 6 for the Volcanoes, 3 in the infield as starters. You've got 3 out of the bullpen, if you will. The pitching staff will be role represented for Salem-Keizer Volcanoes as well. That All-Star game comes to you. It's just in Eugene, so not very far here from the Mid-Valley. It's Tuesday, August 5th at PK Park on the campus of the University of Oregon. And tickets are available at the Eugene Emeralds website. But go support the Volcanoes down there. And if you can't make it, make sure to, when you see them in the dugout or see them in the concourse, give them a high five, give them some love. These guys have been tremendous, and many of these guys have come off the radar. That's the theme for this year for the 2014 Volcanoes. For Brandon Chin, I voice the Volcanoes' Rob Schreier, announcing the 6th 2014 Northwest League All-Stars for Salem-Keizer. This has certainly been Volcanoes TV.